thank you for checking out my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. This video is part of the series of videos I post to try to help people out when it comes to aptitude tests like the civil service exam. Now, today we're going to talk about a topic na napag-usapan natin before, yung part 1, which is yung simple na long division when it comes to numbers na whole numbers. But today we're going to talk about how to deal with that pag decimal na sila. So, if you don't want to miss anything, I make a new video lesson every week. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the bell icon para malaman ninyo as soon as a new video posts. Now, in order for me to explain this better and para mapakita ko sa inyo, I'm going to switch over to my PC so I can show you, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, this is part 2 ng ating series on long division. We're going to talk about dealing with decimals. So, decimals kasi lumalabas yan sa problems, whether sa sagot or isa doon sa mga i-divide natin, whether it's the divisor or the other number. And there are different ways to deal with it. And I'm going to demonstrate kung paano siya gawin. Okay? Yung iba kasi pa nakakita na ng division or kahit nakakita na ng fraction or nakakita ng decimal or percentage na tens na. So, how do you do that? Okay? So, go ahead and grab a piece of paper and a pen so you can take down notes and also so you can solve along with me kasi meron tayong mga your turn dito sa video na ito. Okay? Let's start with this first number. Okay, now obviously, hindi siya divisible by 8. If you watched yung ating videos on factors, you can figure that out really quickly kasi I discussed kung paano mo malalaman kung isang number ay divisible sa 8 and this one isn't. So, ibig sabihin nun, the answer here should be a decimal. Okay, now how do we go about doing that? Okay, or getting that number? Again, same thing lang. Sabi natin, di ba, you go from left to right and isa-isa ang baba. Okay? So, in this case, let's start with 6. Okay? Yung 6, syempre, hindi siya pwedeng i-divide sa 8 kasi yung 6 ay smaller number kaysa sa 8. So, what do? We move on to the next number. So, now you have 68. Now, yung 68 na yon, again, of course, it's more than half kasi ang half is 40. So, mag-start ka lang, kung memorize multiplication table, it's better, no? 8 times 8 is 64. So, 8 ito, 8 times 8 is 64. So, pakamayos natin 64 dito. Bababa ngayon yung 4. And then, we're going to move on to the next number, which is 5. So, ibababa rin natin siya. 45 divided by 8, you have 5, which is going to give you 40. Okay? So, 5 times 8 is 40. Maminus lang natin siya. So, maiiwan yung 5 here. Ang ibig sabihin na may remainder ka na, 5. Now, nung grade school tayo, sabi ng teacher, pag ganyan, you leave it as that, the answer is 85, remainder 5. Kaya lang, hindi naman ganun ang mangyayari, no? Kasi syempre, nag-advance na tayo. So, in this case, magkakaroon ng decimal. Now, how will it happen? The thing is, pag may butal at hindi nakasya yung 8, you add a decimal point, and that will give you license to add another 0 here. Okay? So, maglalagay ka ng 0 here. Magiging 50 siya dahil naglagay ka ng decimal. 50 divided by 8, you have 6, which is going to give you 48. Okay? Minus na natin siya. May remainder ka uli na 2. Okay? Now, with that, again, dahil decimal na to, babagsak lang tayo ng isa pang 0 kasi only 0 na yan after that. You have 0 here. 20 divided by 8 is 2. Lilipat ko lang dito just for visual reference. Ma-minus natin yung 16, which is 2 times 8. 16. Meron kang remainder na 4. Magbabagsak tayo ng isa pang 0. Kasi, ang idea niyan is, ang 685, tapos meron kang decimal, tapos meron siyang endless number of zeros dyan, right? It doesn't really matter kung ilan yung 0. So, kahit ilang bagsak mo ng 0, pwede lang, tuloy-tuloy ka lang. So, 40 divided by 8 is 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Pag minus mo yan, wala na matitira. So, 0 na siya. So, the answer is 85.625. Now, what do I want you to pick up dito sa lesson na to? Again, if naubusan ka na, may remainder pa, you add a decimal point here, dito sa final answer, and then you can start bringing down zeros hanggang maubos mo siya. Yun ang concept ng long division. Okay, now there's no better way for you to understand it than to actually try it out for yourself. So, I'll give you a minute to answer this question. Alright, let's see how you did. Okay, so 458 divided by 5, again, ang gagawin lang natin is take it one number at a time. 4, hindi pwede, so we're going to go with 45. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 9 times 5 is saktong 45 yan. So, pag minus mo yan, lalabas dito 0. Bababa natin ngayon yung 8. So, yung 8, meron namang isa. So, 8, ang 5 na isa, which is 5 times 1 is 5. Pwede mo siya ibawas sa 8. So, 1 times 5 is 5. So, 8 minus 5 is 3. Okay, ngayon, may remainder 3 ka again. Maglalagay tayo ng decimal dito, and it will give us license to add another 0 here. So, 30 divided by 5 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. So, wala nang matitira dyan. The answer is 91.6. Now that you know that, may ingat na lang sa pagdadagdag ng decimal. Saan mo siya idadagdag? Paano mo gagawin yun? So, again, it's very important for you to practice. Alright? So, now, we're going to raise the level up a little bit. Paano kung may decimal sa labas? Okay, may decimal sa labas, may decimal sa loob. Ang rule here is that it's hard to divide a decimal dito sa labas. So, you cannot start your long division na may decimal dito sa labas. What do you do to eliminate that? Ang gagawin mo lang is, when you move this decimal place here, para yung 1.2 ay maging 12, yung same thing na ginawa mo, you have to do it here din. Okay? Kasi, yung 268.8 divided by 1.2 is actually equal to 268.8 over 12. Okay? Well, kahit i-check nyo pa yan sa calculator, no? Later. But the thing is, with that, it will give you an easier pair of numbers na i-divide kasi whole number na sila. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and move dito dun sa ating process ng left to right. Okay? Now, 12 na yung number na hinahanap natin. So sa 2, hindi siya pwede syempre. So you move on to 26. 26 divided by 2, you have 2. 2 times 12 is 24. Minus natin siya dyan. Bababa natin tong 2 na remainder dito. Bababa natin yung 8. 28 divided by 12 is still 2. Okay? So, yung 2 na yan times 12, again, 24 yan. Ibabawas lang natin dito. Maiiwanan ka ng 4 ngayon. Okay? Ngayon, yung 4 na yon, tapos na tayo sa 6, tapos na tayo sa 8. Meron ka pang isang 8, ibababa ngayon natin yung isa pang 8, magiging 48 siya. 48 divided by 12 is 4. So, 4 times 12 is 48. Wala ka ng remainder. So, the answer here is 224. Again, ang gusto kong makuha ninyo, kung may decimal sa labas, ang gagawin mo is to eliminate it. Gagawin natin, i-move natin decimal place to the right. At kung ano yung ginawa mo dyan, kung ilang yung movement na yan, yun din ang gagawin mo dito sa kabilang side. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kapag nag-move ka na decimal place 2 times din sa left, 2 times din ang gagawin mo sa right. Ngayon, paano kung kunyari, for example lang ha, ang number is 2, 3, 4, and then walang decimal point. Kunyari, dinivide mo siya sa 1.1, kunyari lang. Pag na-move ako ng decimal place dito ng isang beses, dito, wala namang decimal, technically, nandito kasi decimal place. So, pag minove ko siya ng isang ganon, magdadagdag lang ako ng 0 dito. Yun ang concept nun. Again, when we talked about scientific notations, yun yung concept niya, right? When you move to the right, yung decimal point, lumalaki yung number. Okay? So, ayan, practice lang ang katapat niyan. So, I'm going to give you time to answer this next question. Alright, so may decimal ka sa left, may decimal ka sa right. Again, first thing that we have to do is to eliminate yung decimal point dito sa left side. I-move natin siya isang beses at kung ilan yung number na yon, i-move natin dito. So, move din natin decimal place right here. So, mangyayari, magiging 3,368 divided by 8 siya. Okay, and 3 hindi pwede, so we choose 33. So, 8, 16, 24, 32, pwede siya sa 4. You have 32. Meron kang remainder na isa. Bababa natin ngayon yung 6. So, you have 16. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 2 times 8 is 16. So, naubos na dyan. Bababa na ngayon natin yung natitirang number, which is 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times 8 is 8. Pag minus mo yan, 0 nang lalabas. At wala ng ibang number. The answer is 421. So again, ano lang ang kailangang dadaan? Kung ano yung minove na decimal places, dapat consistent. Kung ano yung sagot, mag-ingat kayo na huwag kayo magbababa ng mga numbers na basta-basta. Isa-isa lang ang movement natin. Okay? So I hope we got that right because we're going to raise the level up a little bit again. Okay? Paano kung ganito? Alright? I explained it kanina, paano ang gagawin kung may decimal yung left side, yung right wala. That's exactly what we're going to do right here. So yung 3.2, ayaw natin na mag-deal with decimal, i-move natin decimal place right there. Ito, dahil yung decimal place yan technically is here, kasi ang 4544.0, parang ganon, i-move natin siya ng isang beses, maglalagdag tayo ng 0 dyan. Okay? So again, with that, na-fix na natin yung decimal point, we can start dividing numbers. So, hindi pwede sa 4. So, 45 tayo. You have 1, 32. Ma-minus natin siya dyan. So, you have 13. Here, ibababa natin yung 4. So, yung 134 divided by 32 ang gagawin natin next. Okay? Don't be overwhelmed pag nakakita kayo ng mga ganyang mga numbers na parang, ay, ang laki niya naman. Okay? Again, you can start with 5. Okay? If you want, ang multiply ng 32 sa 5 is going to give you 160. O, sobra siya dito. So, sobra siya, pero pag minus mo yung 32 sa 160, pasok na siya. So, ang answer dito would be 4. Okay? 4 times 32. 4 times 32 is 120 plus another 8, so 128. Okay? And then you have 6. Ito ay, ano na lang to, pabilisan na lang to ng, ng familiarity nyo sa numbers, like I said. So, practice your multiplication, practice dividing numbers para maging mas komportable kayo with that, no? So again, nababa na natin yung 4 na isa, itong 4 na lang natitira. So bababa rin natin siya dito, 64. You have 64 divided by 32, that's going to give you 2. 2 times 32 is 64. Siya na yon, wala nang natitira, 0. Kaya lang meron ka pang isang 0 dito, right? Now when that happens, okay, may 0 ka pa dyan, hindi pa naubos yung numbers, 0 divided by 32, it's going to give you 0. Or basically, kung ilan yung 0 na natitira dito, idadagdag mo lang doon sa final answer. So, kung kunyari, okay, for example, 100 divided by 1, 1 divided by 1 is 1, tapos, yung dalawang 0 na natitira dito, parang bonus yon, lagay mo na lang siya dyan. Okay? Lagay mo siya doon sa dulo. So, the answer here is 1,420. Okay? Now that you learned that, ito yung paano kung may decimal at whole number ang nasa loob, kayo naman. Alright, let's see how you did. Okay? So again, dahil may decimal sa left, kailangan natin siya tanggalin. I-move natin siya isang beses. With that, magdadagdag tayo ng 0 dito kasi i-move natin decimal place niya doon. And then we can start solving. So 24, okay, hindi siya syempre pwede sa
sa 4 kasi lagpas-lagpas na siya doon. So, you can start with 3. 3 is going to give you 3 times 24, which is 72. Okay? Yung 72 na yan, ibabawas natin siya sa 88. That will give you 16. Okay? So, after that, bababa natin ngayon yung 3, 163 na siya. 163 ngayon divided by 24. So, again, you can look at it, trial and error tayo. Ang 24 kasi, ang times 5 niyan is 120, right? So, sobra to. Magdadagdag ako ng isa pang 24. Yung 144 na siya. 144, hindi ka na pwede magdagdag ng isa pang 24. Sobra-sobra na yan dun sa 163. So, ang sagot natin is 5 plus another 1. That is going to give you 6. 6 times 24 is 144. Ibabawas natin siya dito. So, 163 minus 144, that is going to give you 9 here. Okay? Subtraction lang yan, guys, ha? Let me know. Gusto nyo rin ba na gumawa ako ng video on subtraction, ha? Just let me know kung kailangan. Kasi, actually, I start out with more complicated videos. Kasi I thought, kumbaga medyo solid tayo sa mga ganitong bagay. But if you want me to make that, let me know in the comments below para maipila ko siya, okay? So, 5 times 4, you have 1. So, you have 19 left, right? Bababa ngayon natin yung 2, 192. Okay? So, 192 naman, divided by 24 pa rin. Okay? Again, pwede kayo mag-start dito, no? Mag-add na kayo na mag-add. Okay? But if you're familiar with your numbers, you would know that this is 8. Kasi ang 24 times 8, okay, 8, 16, 24, 32. 3 here, you have 16 plus 3, which is 9, 192. Sakto na yan. 8 times 24 is 192. 0, so wala na. Kaya alam, meron ka pang isang 0 dyan. Again, sabi natin kung merong mga 0 sa dulo at ubos na yung numbers, bonus na yan. As long as whole number to, ha, as in it's before the decimal, you just put another 0 there. So the answer is 3,680. Okay? I hope you got that right. If you didn't, go back and try to answer it again. Baka nawaglit nyo lang yung ibang numbers sa pagkikerry at saka sa pagbababa. That's the reason why it's something na fairly easy if you're solid dito, pero pag hindi tayo masyadong well-practiced, baka mawaglit natin yung mga ibang mga bagay kaya tayo nagkakamali. Okay?
Alright, I hope you learned something today. If you did, click thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, lalo na kung mag-e-exam din sila para mas marami tayong matulungan. And if you want to reach out to me directly, maybe find out kung meron mga upcoming review events sa lugar ninyo, or if you want to get a copy of the reviewers that I'm making, go to www.facebook.com/Team Lyqa. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Comment din down below if you have any requests para malaman ko and maipila ko yan sa aking habang listahan ng mga lessons na gusto ko pang maituro sa inyo. Thank you guys for watching. Again, as always, never stop learning. Aja, kaya niya yan. I'll see you in my next video, and bye for now.